Hello everyone, welcome to Bloom Lessons. Today we are going to tackle a common problem faced by many developers, managing multiple AWS accounts seamlessly from their local machines while using AWS CLI. Imagine you have multiple accounts for different projects, or in another case, different environments. For instance, you have account A for client A or environment A and account B for client B. Managing these accounts efficiently is crucial, especially when you need to switch contexts frequently while keeping your credentials separate. In this tutorial, we will explore how to configure your locally installed AWS CLI, communicate with these accounts using AWS Profiles. We will demonstrate how to switch between different profile contexts seamlessly, making your workflow smoother and more organized. Let's dive in. To start, you need to have installed the AWS CLI, and you can just quickly check that by typing in AWS version. If you have the AWS CLI installed successfully on your machine, you will see an output similar to this, displaying the current version of the AWS CLI. Another way you can check is just by typing in the keyword AWS, and then it will show you an output like this one. So for you to create a profile for account A based on its credentials, you can just run AWS configure, and then let's run help to see the options that we have under configure. You can pass in the access key, the secret key, the session token, and then you can see we have the metadata service timeout and then metadata service number of attempts. The most important part is the options that you have down here. You can go through them, and then here you can see a very special option that we are going to explore in this tutorial, which is the -- profile and then followed by the profile name. To exit that view, just press Q. Back on your terminal, to configure the profile for client 1, just run the following command: AWS, then configure, enter the flag profile, and then for the profile part you need to specify the profile name. In this case we'll call it client A. You can use whatever name you want. So here we can just say client A1. Once you do that, press enter. You need to have created the access key and the secret key for this client A. So we'll just type in a dummy access key for this client. Then you need the secret key that you'll be using for this client. Then once you enter that, you can select the default region. So in this case, we'll just select a default region for client 1. And then for the default output format, you can leave it as none, or you can choose something like text or JSON. Once you have that, you've configured a profile for client 1. So run the same command, and then under the profile name, enter the profile name you desire. So here we'll just enter profile B1. Press enter, and then enter the access key for the second profile, and then enter the secret key for the second profile, followed by the default region for this second profile. Then for the default format, we can leave it as none, and then press enter. Now we've configured 2 client profiles, and then this will make these entries in our default AWS credential location. So we can open that file and then just see what has been written in there. So in this case, we'll just open our home directory, and then we'll go into the AWS folder. Then under the AWS folder, we'll need to choose one file. So we'll open the credentials file, and then we can view the last part, which is the one we configured for client A and client B. In this part, you can add the other keys that we saw on the help menu. Under this section right here, you can add the session timeout token. So let me just give you an example quickly. From the AWS configure menu, you could see that we have this other key that helps you to specify the session token. So in case you utilize session tokens in your account, you can just copy this one, this name, the way it's spelled here. Then go back to your profile file under the .aws folder in your home directory. Scroll to the end of the file, because whenever you add a profile, it's appended to this file. And then you can enter the session token for the first profile, which you can enter here. For the second profile, if you have the session token, also you can enter it here, which is a safer way to utilize such credentials on your local machine. an invader, an intended audience might have access to your machine, and they might try to access these accounts using the access key and the secret key. So the session token is usually important if you are dealing with the high-end accounts or client accounts that require extra security. When the session token expires, even if a bot accessed your machine, it wouldn't be able to use this key and secret without the session token. Well, now we have our two profiles. How do you switch between client A1 and client B1? To demonstrate that, we'll just open a new terminal window. Since we are running from the same machine, this terminal has access to the same AWS configuration. To use the credentials for client A1 on your terminal, you can just do export AWS profile is equals to, in this case, it will be client A1. Once you do that, press enter. So as long as this variable is in your environment, all the commands you'll be running will be using this profile in this terminal session. For instance, if you're a DevOps engineer and you want to apply, let's say, Terraform code for client A1, you can just navigate to your Terraform directory. Let's say it's under this path right here. Once you navigate to that directory, you can just make sure the current session has this profile exported or this variable in its environment. And then you can run your Terraform commands like Terraform init or Terraform plan. Terraform will be able to use your correct credentials that are linked to this profile. Once you've done your changes with the client A1 account, to switch to client B1, you can just run the same command and then just change the profile name to client B1. You'll be able to run your commands on this client B1's account. Thank you. That will be the end of this video. See you in our next tutorial where we'll explore additional tips on DevOps and also on development. If you are new to our channel, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe. Bye bye.